Uh, yeah, so welcome to Meditation Night. Um, and this is week 6 of our series on the way to full potential. And tonight's theme is accepting what is. And one of the things I was thinking of talking about was technology. Maybe before I go plunging into that, I will just say, hello everybody. I was looking at chat on my phone earlier and haven't taken in all of everyone who's here, but Emma, Angela, Sam, first in as usual, Christine, Irene, Eileen, Miriam, Lizzie, Paul, Nick. I'm forgetting several, I know. But yeah, welcome to everybody, all of you tonight. And here with me, I have Liz, who's been valiantly pulling out every possible piece of kit to try and get us going today. She's here. And also Dhammanata.
Hello.
There he is. Yeah. So tonight's a Metta Bhavana night, and so to rejig the time slightly. I don't want to run over, but just say a little bit about the theme. And the technology is a rather good example of the kind of theme, really. The computer's being slow, things are not quite working as they should do. Should is a telling word. And what we need to do is accept what is, i.e. accept this is what's happening. So tonight the theme is acceptance. Now, acceptance is a word that means different things to different people, and what we're not talking about, as I said in my little ad, is passivity. Yeah. So, well, I come back to this very example. We accept that we're having difficulty connecting, and there's a possibility we might not be able to do this class. But in the meantime, we'll still do our best to get it going. Yeah. So I'm saying accepting what is present tense. Yeah. So it's accepting the facts as they are now and as they've been in the past, but without assuming that determines what's going to happen in the future. Yeah. So there's a very important quality in spiritual life, and including in meditation, perhaps particularly in the Metta Bhavana practice. So I can, sometimes I'm meditating and, I get caught up in what might be anxiety. Anxiety is sort of a habitual thing of mine, sort of planning anxiety, particularly. And then it's so easy then to sort of make that into a problem. I mean, yes, of course, if I'm meditating, then anxiety isn't very helpful. It gets in the way. But if I make it into a problem, I should be doing this, here I go again, I haven't got anywhere with my anxiety, which isn't true. If I do that makes things worse, yeah? And in a way, I'm sort of, the story is, this shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be experiencing this. What does that mean? I am experiencing it, say. Yeah? So what we're talking about here is not arguing with the facts. Not arguing with the facts. So let's, just a couple of other sort of examples. Okay. So again, relating to meditation. So for a long time, a decade or more, I should think, I've had a habitual ache down here, below my right shoulder blade, which, I've really not understood. I still don't fully understand it. And I've been doing sort of certain meditative type practices, not exactly meditation. I do get this ache in meditation quite often. And I notice this happening, and I want to try and get rid of it. I want to try and forcibly relax or delve into it and try and understand what it is so I can unlock it, as it were. Doesn't work, at least not very much. But what I've learned gradually is if I can just bring an attitude of acceptance, just a kindly, tender-hearted acceptance to that I'm experiencing that, it does sometimes just then it loosens and even drops away. Of course, I can then get into, I've got to bring acceptance to it, so I'll get rid of it. That doesn't really work either. I'll give you another example, another personal example, which is, so I wear a necklace thing that's got some medical information inside it. So something that's recognised all over the world. And this is a medical condition that I've had throughout my entire life. And in a way, I've not, until probably a year or so ago, I've not fully accepted this condition in terms of the various effects it's had upon me, physically and indeed emotionally, psychologically. I've not fully accepted it. I've sort of accepted it up here, but not really down here. And that has gradually changed. It's been tremendously liberative and healing, actually. It's gradually changed. You're really doing a lot of work with kindness, self-metta. And so consequently, I now wear it almost all the time. And it's here. It's against my heart, which is where it's designed to be. But that now carries a certain significance, as it were. It's against my heart. So I've talked about, not arguing with the facts. But there's an emotional side to acceptance, which is a metaphor attitude to what's going on. A kindly or metaphor attitude, a kind of holding with kindness the reality of the situation, even though it might be something that actually is really not good, and we might still be really acting to try and change it because of the harm it might cause in the future. But at the same time, right now, this is what's happening. That's the fact of the matter. This is this is what I wanted to explore this evening. So, just wondering where to go with this right now, limited time. Maybe that's enough said by way of preamble, way of a sort of presentation. And so the challenge really is, so we're going to do the Metta Bhavana, the five-stage practice. And of course, this, what I've been talking about, is particularly relevant in the first stage. So it's particularly relevant in the first stage. We have our experience. Might be things going on that we don't like physically. Might be things going on emotionally that are challenging, that are uncomfortable. Right now, I'm feeling uncomfortable because we've started late. I've got less time, and I also haven't got any notes for this this talk for various reasons. And that I can include in kindness, just accepting, well, that is a situation. There's less time and I feel less sure of myself, and that's part of the situation. I can just include that in a kind awareness. It's very similar to what I was talking about 4 weeks ago, actually. It's a different angle. And there's much more we can include in accepting what is, not arguing with the facts. I could talk about impermanence, for example, the fact that everything is always changing, which includes our mortality. So accepting that is the reality of our situation as human beings and for everyone else. So yeah, we'll do the metta bhavana, and I just invite you to include in a kindly awareness anything in your experience that's difficult, painful, or not what you think it should be, as it were, as in I should be experiencing this. I should be experiencing metta, or maybe things are a bit numb. Well, that is what it is. Accepting it as what it is, and we can still creatively try to do things that might stimulate some metta. Indeed, that very attitude of accepting things as they are things as they are, includes metta, as I've said. So I'll stop there. There may be time to say a bit more in relation to potential questions later. But let's do a period of metta bhavana. I'll lead us in the body scan. I'll lead us in the stages. And whatever's going on at each stage, I just invite you to bring that attitude, just accepting what's happening as what's happening with kindness. And if you can't, then accepting that you can't with kindness. Yeah. Okay. Though when I say you can't, of course, that sounds very absolute.
You may have to keep your voice up.
I might have to keep my voice up.
Audio is not so good on
this.
So.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. So I mustn't let my voice drop too much. Okay, there's a mindfulness practice for me. Okay, so settling into meditation. Actually, I think we'll abbreviate the practice slightly. We'll leave out the third stage. So we'll do the ourselves, a friend, difficult person, and then everybody. Just because we haven't got so much time. So, as always, tuning into the body. How does the body feel right now? Just taking it in, especially noticing your weight, that sensation of weight on the ground. Touch of your legs or feet on the ground. Letting go, just relaxing as best you can, whilst keeping an alertness. Bringing awareness into the feet. Just experiencing what's happening there. And then up into the legs, the lower legs. Noticing the calf muscles, how they're feeling right now. The knees, the thighs. Just taking it in. Taking in our body, the experience of our body. Encouraging a relaxation, but being okay if that doesn't want to happen. Bringing awareness again to the buttocks, also the groin, the hips. Letting that area be at ease, if it will. the back. Bring awareness up the back. So the spine is naturally upright. Again, noticing any sensations in the back. Back of the neck. Letting that be long and soft. And then the head and face. Noticing how the face feels right now. And without forcing anything, just encouraging a relaxation. Bringing awareness into the shoulders. Letting them drop down. And the arms. Right the way down the arms into the hands. Right the way through the hands to the fingertips. Just taking it in. Getting in the hands. And then the guts. Experiencing the guts right now. Encouraging a relaxation. And the chest. And the heart center in the center of the chest. And just notice how it feels, without any ideas that it has to be a particular way. And from there, just noticing what sort of a mood you're in, what quality of mind, any particular emotions going on. There was something, either subtle, any particular trains of thought. Just taking it in. And see if we can form an intention to stay with the meditation as best we can. And to include anything we're wanting to reject, push away, to include it in a kindly, accepting awareness. So moving into the first stage of the Metta Bhavana. So bringing kindness, a kindly attitude, maybe a tender attitude to ourselves. however we find ourselves right now, encouraging any sense of warmth and kindness. Just encouraging an open-heartedness to whatever's happening. Not trying to make it different from how it is. And then if we're ready, bringing in a friend. Notice how that feels. Just honestly taking in our actual response to our friend. Or maybe lack of response. And then looking for the seeds of metta, of well-wishing, of kindness. Staying with our experience, staying with our friend, kind attitude to our friend, and as we need, to ourselves. And now moving to the difficult person, bringing them to mind. Notice how that feels. We can change how it feels, but taking it in now. Without pretending to ourselves, just gradually looking for the human connection, the well-wishing. Notice if there are distractions, we're getting caught up in the story, accepting that that's what's happened, and resolving to come back, connecting with this other person as a human being. And now bringing all three people together, wishing us all well equally. Noticing any disparity. Just noticing and seeing if we can level it up. And then bringing in other people, bringing to mind those of us here meditating together this evening. And including others. Letting our sense of loving kindness or any seeds of loving kindness expand as far as we feel able without forcing. If something else is going on, bringing kindness to that. And now letting go of any effort. Again, just being with whatever's happening now. Letting experience be just as it is, with awareness. Okay, I'll just leave a moment for people to come out of meditation. Yeah, So attention slightly torn by two different things, you could say. Yeah, that attitude to our experience is so important. And we're talking about sort of not arguing with the facts of our experience. That's one way I put it. And then that has the emotional component of, if you like, opening and letting our heart open to what's going on. A metaphor, a kindly response to what's going on. And we're so good at arguing with our experience. He should be doing this. I shouldn't be experiencing that. That computer should be working properly, etc., etc. We're so good at arguing with it. And to quote somebody, I'm not sure who, when we argue with reality, we lose. So, yeah, I hope I've communicated something of that as a principle, not an easy principle to work with and to follow, but a very valuable principle. So there's a little bit of time, for any comments or questions. So please do put them into the chat if there is anything. Otherwise, I might come up with a question for you. Okay, well, I'll still put stuff in if there are questions. But a question for you is, what do you find particularly difficult to not argue with, as it were, the facts? What do you find particularly difficult to accept in your experience? It's a very personal question, obviously, but some of you may like to share something. For some reason I can't see it.
No, don't worry.
I don't normally have a screen right in front of me like this, but tonight I do.
Comes through, I can read them out.
Yeah. Otherwise we'll have to finish early as well as starting late, which would be a shame.
Oh yeah, the thing coming through now.
Hmm.
So Angela says, letting go of the need to control.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
You
Yeah.
might have to repeat what I say.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah, I need to repeat what Liz says. Yes, letting go of the need to control. Yes. I certainly like to feel in control of things, hence the sort of planning anxiety. So yeah. And we're not in control. We're not in control of our bodies even. I mean, a little bit, but not not entirely by a long shot. We're not even in control of our minds. Again, we've got some influence there, fortunately, more sometimes than we think we do. But yeah, it's a good one.
And Chris says, well, Sue says she can hear me, so it's fine. We don't have to repeat.
Okay, well,
but Chris says, I think sometimes I find it difficult to accept that I find things difficult.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, difficult to accept that you find things difficult. Yeah, we can have the sort of view, can't we, that things shouldn't be difficult. Like if we're finding things in life difficult, that means there's something wrong with us? And yeah, it's just part of life. I mean, if we'd had much longer, I might have brought that in, that it's something we share with everyone else on the planet, is our humanity, and that includes painful, difficult experience. And it includes, unless we're enlightened, it includes wanting things to be different from how they are. That includes wanting us to be different from how we are in one way or another at one time or another. It's a painful habit to have, I know it well.
Angie says that she finds it difficult to remember to accept. And Brenda says accepting my, so it's a bit coming through in different parts.
Okay.
So accepting my failures to fulfil the goals and her wish to achieve. Accepting failures to fulfil the goals that she wishes to achieve.
Accepting failures to fulfil the goals you wish to achieve. Yeah, no, that's a good angle, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to fail, as it were. That includes in meditation. We're going to. Yeah, we'd have to be a Buddha, not to, not for the mind not to go off in one way or another. And the same applies to every part of our life. We're going to fail. We could even fail at things that we identify with as being particularly good at. Yeah, so it's going to happen, and yeah, absolutely accepting. Remembering to accept, that's, I guess it just comes with practice, and Metta Bhavana, again, can be a very good way of practicing that. Yeah. Work in progress, and there's accepting that we fail to accept. Yeah. Just wait another moment, and then some announcements and wrap up.
Well, I was thinking about when I waved my fist at the computer earlier. But it's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, waving your fist at the computer. Yeah. I don't do that, but I do sometimes speak rather harshly to it. Somehow it just doesn't seem to understand. Okay, so what do I need to announce? Well, firstly to say we have, so this series, The Way to Full Potential, as many of you are very well aware, is also allied to a course, The Journey and the Guide, which runs for another 3 Saturdays. And we're following that immediately with another course. So this is Life with Full Attention we have running, starting on Saturday the 17th of October. I say that, actually in a way it starts on Thursday the 15th at this time, but the full start is Saturday the 17th. So it's a morning course online, without charge. You do need to book, and this is a course in mindfulness. It's a course in Buddhist mindfulness, to really bring awareness to all different aspects of our own experience, and then to different aspects of our outward experience. Awareness is really transformative to the extent we're able to practice it, and this course can really help you deepen or get more established in awareness and mindfulness practice. So yeah, that's 8 weeks. I'm leading that along with somebody yet to be decided. That finishes on December the 5th. And next week, Dharmanata will be leading. Have you got us a title, Dharmanata?
I have. Ironically, I'm so relaxed after that meditation. It's waking up. Waking up, spiritual rebirth.
It's waking up, spiritual rebirth. There we are. So that's next Thursday night. And that's probably all we need to say, other than, please do help us do what we're doing. If you appreciate it, regular donations are especially welcome. They really help us plan. And of course, any donations are very welcome. No amount is too small, no amount is too large. So please do contribute to Cambridge Buddhist Centre. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really helps us as well. So that's it from me tonight. And unusually I have to press the button to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Good night.